Season 6 of Inside Athletics, brought to you by the IAAF, rolls on. I'm your host, Atto Bolden. My guest today can say something that nobody else on planet Earth can say. I raced Usain Bolt at 100 meters and never lost to him. My guest is the USA's World Championship silver medalist 2017, Christian Coleman. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell me about being a young man, being thrust into that World Championships. You've got Justin Gatlin, prior Olympic champion, world champion, Bolt, the greatest to ever do it. And that gun goes off in that final, and for 80 meters, you are gone. That had to take some sort of a bravery to deal with that pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just me having that competitive mindset my whole life. I think that just manifested in that moment. Yeah. Because honestly, I mean, I won't say that I was nervous at all. I mean, obviously I had butterflies, but I had butterflies for every
race.
Every race.
Yeah.
But I wasn't nervous at all. My coach just told me before the race and all that week, just you can't look to the left or right of you. You just gotta look down your lane and focus on the task at hand, and just focus on executing the race. And so those words were just replaying in my head before the gun goes off, and then as you know, when the gun goes off, 100 meters is not much time to think. You just gotta go. And so after that, I dipped at the line and came back to reality, and I didn't know who won. But
did you think you won?
Honestly, I had no idea.
Because you'd beat Bolt, right? I mean, you had a sense of.
I didn't know either, because I dipped at the line, and he was right next to me, and I think I beat him by like 0.01 or 0.02, right. And so I wasn't really sure. And obviously I didn't see Gatlin out there. It was kind of like a blur. Yeah. And so I don't know. I wasn't sure at all. I wasn't gonna celebrate anything yet until
right.
until the screen came up there. But I got second, so I don't know. I couldn't really ask for a better result. It was a fun experience.
Now you and Bolt were also in the same semifinal. And I remember saying on NBC before the race, I said, this is going to tell us a lot, because Coleman is going to be gone, and Bolt has won his championships by running down anybody who gets out ahead of him. Tell me walk us through a little bit the semifinal, because it looked a lot like the final for you. You were gone, and he came and got you. Did you learn anything about what he was able to do? When I saw the race, I said, well, both of them are going to be confident, because Christian's going to be confident because he was able to separate, and then Bolt didn't catch him. Bolt is going to feel like, well, I didn't need to catch him because it's not the final, but I was able to run him down. What did you take away from that semifinal?
What I took away from it was that obviously his start wasn't as good as mine. Right. I knew that I could get out on top of him. But obviously he came back, and it was close at the line in the semis. So I knew in the final I just had to do my best to stay on top of my run, and just try to stay upright and hold my form. Yeah. So I don't decelerate as much. So I mean, I had confidence going into the race. I had a game plan, and I knew what I had to do. I think I executed to the best of my ability. It just, I don't know, it wasn't just enough that day. But it was, I don't know, it was a fun experience, a learning experience, and something I'll remember for the rest of my life for sure.
So you seem to be very happy about your silver medal, as well you should be. First time on the world stage, and you come away with a silver medal at the World Championships in the 100. You didn't seem quite as happy about your silver medal in the relay. The good news is the United States men got the baton around. The bad news is you guys lost to the home team, the United Kingdom. Tell me about your anchor leg and about what made you so upset when you crossed the line and realized that you hadn't brought it home in goal position.
I mean, I just think that's just my competitive spirit, coming out, because you're just so close, and I knew that it would come down to my leg, because being at the anchor, you get to watch the whole race, and then I'm like, okay, here it comes, and I knew we would get to stick around the same time, and I would be able to, and I wanted to, bring home the gold for not just my team, but for the whole country. And so I was just a little disappointed in myself. But then, you look at it, and I was competing with a great competitor, somebody I've competed with.
And somebody from the SEC.
Yeah, I know from the SEC. I've competed with him pretty much my whole collegiate career, Nathan Neal. And so they worked for it. They got to stick around, and they deserved it. But I just think being a little upset in the moment was kind of just me being a competitor. Yeah. But looking back at it, having 2 silver medals, that's a great accomplishment. Yeah.
The last time the United States won medals in the Olympic 200 meters for men was 2008. So it's now been 2 Olympics, 2012 and 2016, of no Olympic medals for the United States. I have said I think that's going to end because of the presence of Noah Lyles and you. I know that you are equally good at 100 and 200. Tell me about what your plans are for double your 100-meter distance.
I mean, obviously, I don't want to say I have a favorite, but I would just say I think I'm kind of better at the 100 just because I have a better.
You have a better time.
better start than most, and like you said, better time. But as a competitor, and somebody who enjoys the sport, obviously I enjoy running the 200 as well, and so I enjoy that challenge of competing with the best of the best in the 100 and the best of the best in the 200, and I think I can do some great things in both. And so that's the plan, to continue to run both the events, and to see what I can do in both of them.
Now you've continued to remain at Tennessee and stay under your college coach. If we put a camera on you when you left practice before you got back to practice on the following day, what would we see you doing? What are you into? Video games, Netflix, movies? What are the things that define you off the track?
Well, I mean, right now, since I'm still in school, I'll be doing a lot of homework. So that's really my focus. But then in my downtime, I like to chill and relax and watch Netflix. I play video games with my friends sometimes. I don't really go out much. But yeah, I'm a homebody for sure. But I do, I like to stay home and I watch Netflix and catch up on my shows on Hulu. And play video games, so yeah, and I like to sleep too, so I get a lot of rest.
Like all sprinters.
I like to sleep. I try to eat healthy. Sometimes that doesn't work out, but that's
what's the worst thing you eat? What's the thing that you like to eat that your coach is like, man, you can't eat that. You want to be the world's fastest man.
I think my weakness is probably just candy.
Oh wow, and that's
just wasted calories.
Yep.
Yeah, like you be in the store, you just see the Sour Patch Kids, sitting right there, and so you just, I don't know, that's probably my weakness, and I just got to get better at it. But yeah, I'm definitely a candy eater.
We look at your career from high school to college to the pros, and you are on a very nice trajectory, breaking the collegiate record. As I said, one of the younger 100-meter medalists at the World Championships. But you and I suspect Trayvon Bromell probably have this title that's going to follow you until you either live up to it or people go, nah, they're not the ones. You guys are seen as the 2 young men who can return America to being the dominant force in that 100-meter dash. Is that the thing that you think about often, or is it something where you're like, man, I'm just doing me, and if that comes along, fine? Because most people look at you, myself included, and go, this is somebody who could return the United States to being the dominant 100-meter country.
I mean, I think that wouldn't be me telling the truth if I, didn't, hear that all the time and didn't pay attention to it, because obviously I'm a fan of the sport, and
right.
I'm on social media, and so I see
right.
stuff like that all the time. But I kind of just put it in the back of my head, and just know that that'll come. But I just gotta continue to do the same things that I've always done to get to this point. Just continue to work hard and continue to have the same competitive mindset. Just going out there not necessarily focused on times, but going out there just trying to win each race, and trying to execute, and listening to my coach, and I just think that'll just take me to new heights, and that title of being the next one, quote unquote, or being somebody who will bring the United States back, that all that'll come in due time. But I just got to continue to just keep doing the same things I've always done to make it to this point. And, you know, the main thing is just, you know, continue to work hard and, you know, just not necessarily ignore that, but just, you know, just stay focused on the task at hand.
You mentioned social media. The difference between your career and my career is people who wanted to say things to me when I was running didn't have the direct line. Yeah. How do you deal with being a young athlete with the things that people say to you and about you online? Are you the kind of person who, I mean, some athletes, when it's time for a championship, they shut off their social media. Are you that type, or are you the type who, you know, it doesn't really faze you?
It really doesn't faze me at all. I'm one of those kind of people who just not really much will get to me, and not really much will affect me.
So if somebody said, you know, Christian Coleman got lucky, Bolt was at the end of his career, it was a slow winning time anyway, you know, Gatlin was desperate to get one more before he retires. I don't know that Coleman's going to be all that. You're going to read that and your response is going to be what?
My response at first was just be to laugh, just because
you'd laugh it off.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Like, why you taking the time out of your day to?
But we know the trolls. They'll find the time.
They find the time to say something negative, and so obviously this day and age, you have people who just like to go online and just be negative for no reason. Like,
right.
What do you get out of that? So. You just kind of just laugh it off. You don't really, focus on that. But it's always a lot more positive comments than negative. And, you just, can't really focus on that. Can't let that affect you in any way at all. And just, continue to do you.
You come from a very strong family unit. Tell me a little bit about your role, the role that your family has played in getting you to this point, and how you see their role going forward for you.
Yeah, I mean, my parents and my sisters, cousins, aunties, uncles, I have a really strong family, and they all support me. And I think that's what gave me, the confidence going forward, and what's giving me the confidence to compete now, knowing that, no matter what happens, they're always going to think that I'm, the best. They're always going to support me, no matter what happens. I know they always going to have my back. And ever since I was little, my grandparents, they always told me that I was, the best, and I hadn't even done anything yet. And so, they tell you that so many times, you really, you start to believe it. Right. And so, you go out there, you compete, and, you have your family behind you, and you have, something to work for, because, my parents have made, sacrifices for me growing up. And, I just want to, go out there and work hard and use the talents that God gave me, and that my parents helped me to get. And so I mean, I think I have one of the most supporting and loving families, and they'll always be by my side going forward.
Well, you're a young man with a lot of weight of expectation on your shoulders, but you seem to have a very level head, and that is half the battle in this business. So congratulations for an amazing 2017 collegiate and pro season, and all the best going forward with your career.
I appreciate it.
All right.